So you're going on a missions trip. This is exciting news, but you've also been asked to take pictures and video while you're there. No pressure. Taking pictures and video when you're on a missions trip is important to help tell the story to the people back home, to your supporters, to your church members, and to anyone else who might be interested. But how do you get good pictures and video with your phone? Well, today I'm going to help you with that. Modern phone cameras can take great pictures and video if used to their full potential. They have some limitations, but knowing what these limitations are will help you to get around those and to get great content. I'm also going to go through some general rules that will help you to get the best results. And just to show you that it can be done, this whole thing has been shot on my phone. Rule number 1, when shooting video, always, and I do mean always, shoot in the horizontal position, not the vertical position. You can always crop a vertical video from a horizontal one, but you can't do the opposite because the quality that's taken from a vertical video is not nearly as good. Rule number 2, get good sound with your video. Nothing will ruin a video faster than having bad sound. Make sure you're relatively close to your subject and out of the wind. Wind noise is particularly difficult to remove. Be aware of any distracting noises in the background, such as loud people, generators, construction. There's all kinds of things that can be going on in the background until you actually go and try to shoot some video. Many times you're unaware of these things. I remember one time in South Sudan where there was constantly a generator going on in the background, and until you need to shoot video, it's not really a noticeable thing. There are also options like getting a remote wireless microphone that can be plugged into the jack on the bottom of your phone. I'm using a DJI wireless mic right now. That is one that's available to you, and it will give you good sound quality even when there are distracting noises around. Rule number 3, be as steady as possible, especially when you're shooting video. If you're shooting an interview, set up your phone on either a stationary object or on a tripod if you have one available. If you are on the move, either walk with steady steps and shoot in the widest format possible on your phone, or use a gimbal if you happen to have one. The one that I'm showing in this particular video is made for a larger camera, but you get the idea nonetheless. Rule number 4, make sure your camera is on the highest quality settings possible. Many cameras will default to a lower setting so as to save memory, but you don't want to do that. You want to get good quality photos and good quality video. Go into your phone settings and make sure that the highest quality is selected. If there is a setting called RAW, choose that one. Many phones do not have that, but otherwise go with the highest quality setting possible. Additionally, do not use filters. Filters might look great on your phone, but when you actually go back to try to edit pictures later, it can many times ruin the picture. Rule number 5, seek out good lighting when taking both pictures and video. Low light is where the phone cameras will really fall apart. Your pictures might look great when you're in good lighting, but as soon as you go into a darker room, or if there's other lighting conditions that give you trouble, all of a sudden you will start seeing artifacts and digital noise and all kinds of problems that don't show up until you actually go to look at what you've shot on a big screen such as television or a computer. So whenever you have good light, use it. Alright, so before we go on to what settings to use in your camera, I'm going to just mention that before you go overseas, make sure you have plenty of memory on your phone. You are very likely going to have spotty internet, and so you may not be able to offload files while you are overseas. So have plenty of space available. Okay, so what settings do I use on my phone? Well, I've already touched on the photo settings for you. Now we're going to go to video a bit. If you're shooting with an iPhone or an Android, as long as your phone is relatively new, you're going to be able to shoot great videos with it. If you're shooting with an iPhone, go into the cinematic mode and choose 4K 24 frames a second so long as you have plenty of memory on your phone. If you don't have plenty of memory on the phone, only then go to 1080 or full HD 30 frames a second. 30 frames a second is not ideal, and as of right now, there is not support for full HD 24 frames a second, only 30. So if you can do 4K 24, do it. For Android, there's going to be a number of different settings depending on what the manufacturer of your phone is. I personally have a Samsung phone, so I'm going to go off of that. You're going to want to go into your video settings and either find full HD 24 frames a second or 4K 24 frames a second. For some phones, such as the Samsung, you actually have to go into a setting called Pro Video to find these things. Under no circumstances shoot in 8K video. All that will do is eat up memory, and for no good reason. And once again, shoot horizontal, not vertical. Just a couple of other practical things for you. When you're taking pictures or video, whether it be with a phone or a camera, never take pictures of police, military, any kind of infrastructure such as bridges. Don't take pictures of embassies, anything like that. Taking pictures or video of these things can get you in a lot of trouble very quickly. Do take pictures of whatever is interesting to you. If it's interesting to you, it's probably going to be interesting to people who are back home. You get to go to some amazing places. Take lots of memories back with you of what undoubtedly will be a life-changing experience.